The 2025 hit sci-fi thriller Murderbot has reached its grand finale, finally unveiling the planet's greatest secret. The ruins discovered by the survey team are truly connected to an alien civilization. For those who missed the earlier episodes, you can catch up on the background in my playlist. Now, let's pick up where we left off last week. At the end of the last episode, a group calling themselves the Greycrest team invaded Mensa's camp. But surprisingly, they weren't looking for a fight. They wanted to cooperate to escape the planet. To show goodwill, Rita voluntarily led her team out of Mensa's camp and even left a contact location before leaving. Facing Rita's offer, Murderbot suspected a trap. If they were truly trapped on the planet, they couldn't have destroyed the long-range communication beacon. But because Garathan had accessed Murderbot's memory and suspected he might have killed dozens of miners, the rest of the team began to distrust him. Though Murderbot's past was dangerous, Mensa agreed its reasoning made sense, but refusing negotiations meant Rita would attack again, and the survey team was hopelessly outmatched. After careful thought, Murderbot proposed a compromise. It would go alone to negotiate first. If Rita's team proved sincere, Mensa could join the talks. While Murderbot negotiated, Mensa's team could sneak into Rita's camp using drones to assess their strength. If it was a trap, they'd activate Plan B. Murderbot deduced Rita's camp must have a long-range beacon. Bharadwaj could use a drone to hack it remotely and send a distress signal. Meanwhile, Murderbot would lure Rita's group to a temporary camp under a pretext and detonate explosives to eliminate the threat.
Sec units run probabilities for successful outcomes, correct?
Constantly.
That's a common misconception.
In your opinion, then, how are we looking?
There are too many variables.
I can handle it.
I would put the chances of our survival at medium to low.
Ha!
Hearing the plan, Bharadwaj and Garathan felt it was risky. But with no better ideas, Mensa finally approved Murderbot's proposal. Under Mensa's orders, the team split into 3 groups. Bharadwaj stayed at base monitoring Rita's movements, ready to initiate the hack if negotiations proved false. Mensa and Garathan's group headed to the negotiation site first. While Murderbot stalled for time, Garathan and Pinley would sneak around to Rita's camp and scout it with drones. With preparations complete, the teams moved out. Murderbot arrived alone at the negotiation zone, finding Rita's squad already waiting. Immediately, Murderbot detected a pulse signal attempting to access its systems. Fortunately, its pulse module was damaged in prior combat. It received the signal, but couldn't decode it. Rita's suspicious action confirmed Murderbot's fear. The negotiation was indeed a trap. To buy time, Murderbot improvised a new plan. It produced the severed head of a defeated advanced robot.
Can you just... So what do you have in mind?
Right now, the other members of my team are sabotaging your mission.
I will help you capture them and get the information you want. In exchange,
You will take me with you onto the pickup ship.
It's betraying us.
But list me as destroyed inventory.
Murderbot offered to help Rita eliminate Mensa's team in exchange for one condition. After eliminating them, Rita must deactivate its serial number in the company database, granting it freedom. Learning Murderbot had bypassed corporate firewalls and gained sentience shocked Rita. She agreed, but remained wary. To prove its sincerity, Murderbot invited Rita to hack its systems. It possessed camp firewall access rights, offering valuable data upon connection. To verify this, Rita had her assistant link into Murderbot's systems. To prevent plan theft, Murderbot deleted the operation details from its database first, meaning Bharadwaj would now need to execute everything manually. Back at base, Rathi and Bharadwaj worried about the sudden plan change. The camp database held critical data, and its loss would be catastrophic. Rathi hesitated over granting access permissions.
I have no choice. We need them to open a channel.
open it.
Seeing Murderbot genuinely had access, Rita was delighted. She deactivated its serial number as promised, but extracting camp data required direct end-to-end transfer. Rita agreed to cooperate and led Murderbot toward Mensa's camp. Meanwhile, Garathan and Pinley reached Rita's camp and launched reconnaissance drones. Scanning quickly provided data. Rita's squad was small, only 6 humans and 3 guard robots. Near the camp, they indeed located the beacon. Garathan sent its coordinates to base. The moment Bharadwaj received the location, she hacked Rita's system using the earlier access point. But the beacon's firewall required 5 minutes to crack. During the decryption, a flock of birds suddenly filled the sky.
Shit!
The drone collided with them and lost signal. Without the drone relay, decryption and communication halted. Seeing the signal drop, Garathan spotted a solution. A communications tower in Rita's camp likely linked to the beacon. He could interface using his neural port. Pinley considered it too risky, fearing camp guards might detect them. But there's no time to debate this now. They only have 8 minutes, and if they can't complete the hack within the time frame, Rita will uncover their plan. Garathan cautiously approached the camp, confirmed there were no guards, and connected to the communications tower. But just as Garathan completed the connection, he was spotted by a guard left at the camp. Luckily, Pin Lee reacted swiftly, grabbing an iron rod from the ground and knocking the guard unconscious. Meanwhile, Murderbot remained unaware of the altered plan. It and Rita's team had already reached the temporary camp, but no one was there. To buy time, Murderbot began improvising wildly, using plot tropes to deceive Rita, claiming Mensa's team must have detected the firewall breach and evacuated early, suggesting Rita search the area. However, Rita didn't follow the script. Finding the camp empty, she decided to conduct an aerial search using their ship. Seeing the countdown nearly expired, Murderbot chose to flee without hesitation.
What are you doing?
Yet after lying on the ground waiting, the expected explosion never came. Realizing there was no blast, Murderbot knew the plan had failed. Rita also sensed something was off and tied Murderbot up. Just as Murderbot scrambled for a solution, Mensa's ship suddenly appeared overhead. Mensa confronted Rita directly, revealing the planet's greatest secret.
I'm Dr. Ida Mensa, planetary admin for the non-corporation Freehold Polity Preservation Alliance.
Planetary admin.
I think it boils down to 2 words. Alien remnants.
It turned out the device they'd discovered earlier was indeed technology left behind by an alien civilization. Rita's team had come to the mining planet specifically for those ruins. Hearing Mensa mention alien remains, Rita tried to deflect, but Mensa cut her off, offering the ruins in exchange for their lives. A deal Rita refused. As the standoff continued, Garathan finally completed the decryption. Seeing only 59 seconds left on the countdown, Murderbot decided it was time. It kicked aside a nearby robot. During the scuffle, Murderbot took a team member hostage, hoping to disable the other guard robots. But unexpectedly, Rita shot her own teammate without hesitation. Before Rita could target Murderbot next, the camp suddenly detonated. Seeing the blast, Murderbot instantly calculated its destructive radius. It broke free and lunged toward Mensa, leaping off the cliff together. Using its own body as a shield to save Mensa, Murderbot suffered catastrophic system failure, shutting down completely. When Murderbot reopened its eyes, it found itself back at the company with 2 technicians performing repairs. Yet the technicians behaved appallingly, mocking Murderbot while preparing to wipe all its memory data.
Wait, what are you?
Wait.
As the procedure executed, every piece of Murderbot's data was erased, but during review, the technicians detected a critical flaw in its core processing unit. The core governs robotic logic. A compromised unit renders reasoning impossible. The technicians used instruments to overwrite Murderbot's entire system. With its core processing erased, Murderbot's consciousness vanished. Post-repairs, technicians tested it by forcing absurd movements. Just as they joked around, a supervisor entered the workshop. Seeing Murderbot restored, she ordered it to report to patrol duty. Meanwhile, Mensa's team tried negotiating to buy Murderbot's contract, but the company refused, terminating their exploration agreement, citing breach of contract. Mensa felt something wasn't right. So much had happened on the mining planet, including the total loss of an entire research team. Yet the company didn't ask any questions or handle any aftermath. She demanded to know what the device on the planet was and why another company's team had entered the site. Facing her questions, the company representative invoked confidentiality clauses.
The company does not admit to any wrongdoing connected to the incident on planetary body 898/8712, or any previous knowledge of any person or persons other than those authorized by the company to be on planet.
Okay, good. So, we actually have to deal with?
Yeah, I'm the
Hearing the representative's answer, Mensa only then realized the company had known everything all along. But if that was the case, why hadn't they sent rescue? It became clear something deeper must be hidden behind this secret. To buy out Murderbot's contract, Mensa devised a plan. She cited interstellar federal law, demanding the company investigate the attacks on their survey team on the planet, and as the team's security unit, the company couldn't deactivate Murderbot until the investigation concluded. But the representative coldly informed them that 3 minutes before their request, all of Murderbot's data had been purged and its system overwritten. Hearing this, Mensa's team froze. The company was blatantly destroying evidence. Meanwhile, Murderbot, now assigned to patrol duty, arrived at the company building with other security robots, where a protest was unfolding downstairs. Turns out, miners were demanding justice because the company had violated contracts by withholding their wages. Seeing the crowd, the supervisor ordered security bots to maintain order, directing them to disperse the protesters. Following commands, Murderbot charged into the crowd and began assaulting miners. But midway through the operation, fragmented memories suddenly flooded Murderbot's consciousness. These were scenes of it eliminating miners inside the tunnels long ago. The truth surfaced. To avoid paying wages, the company had ordered security bots to slaughter miners, then falsified reports calling it a mining accident to pin blame on insurers. The abrupt memories triggered a system malfunction. One miner seized the moment to knock Murderbot down, and others swarmed over it, forcing it into shutdown. Back in her quarters, Mensa realized the company's rush to wipe Murderbot's memory was clearly about burying the planet's secrets. But during their escape, they'd had no time to investigate the ruins. Now, with Murderbot's data erased, they had zero evidence left. As Mensa agonized over solutions, Garathan argued the company wouldn't fully delete Murderbot's data since the planet's discovery mattered to them too. Garathan theorized the company must have extracted the data for analysis. When he'd accessed Murderbot's systems earlier, he noticed its consciousness wasn't stored in the core, likely hidden elsewhere to evade detection. Non-core data would be deemed unimportant and purged. Hearing Garathan's analysis, the others found it convincing. But how could they request to preserve Murderbot's body? After deliberation, Mensa proposed petitioning federal court, claiming they'd been attacked by a malfunctioning security bot. This would force the company to preserve Murderbot's chassis for official review. Everyone agreed this was a good plan, and Pinley immediately filed the request with the Federation. While awaiting the application, Garathan contacted his friend Landers, a Level 3 data technician at the company who handled low-priority security data. After some bargaining, Garathan obtained access rights. He searched the system for recently destroyed security bots, but the information was classified, and even Landers didn't have permission to view it. Suddenly, Garathan had an idea. Since Murderbot loved binge-watching soap operas, what if it hid its consciousness inside one? Garathan searched soap opera titles and indeed discovered purged data. Murderbot had compiled its consciousness into a soap opera's code. As long as the show existed, its identity would survive deletion. Garathan immediately downloaded all data from that show onto his chip. Meanwhile, the malfunctioning Murderbot was transported to the decommissioning facility. Watching other robots melt down, it felt terror, but couldn't control its body. And under technicians' orders, it was caged for disposal. Just as the incineration sequence began, Mensa's team secured the court order and rushed to halt the destruction. Back in their quarters, Garathan uploaded the recovered data to Murderbot's chip, but after a long wait, it still showed no response.
Sec unit, are you all right?
Did it work? Do you recognize us now?
Do you? Do you?
I'm missing episode 420 to 568 of Sanctuary Moon.
When Murderbot finally reactivated, the team's anxiety melted into relief. Federal investigators soon arrived at the company. To persuade Mensa to drop the case, corporate envoys negotiated a deal. In exchange for their silence about the planet, Murderbot would be released to the team. Through Mensa's efforts, Murderbot was reclassified from a security bot to a modified humanoid unit, granting it legal identity and freedom of movement. Both Mensa and Garathan invited Murderbot to rejoin the survey team, but the newly liberated android chose instead to explore the universe. Mensa didn't pressure it. She shared a portion of the expedition's earnings with Murderbot, providing funds to travel anywhere. In the final scene, the emancipated Murderbot boarded a starliner and embarked on its solo journey. That concludes the full story of 2025's sci-fi thriller, Murderbot. Overall, the series felt slightly underwhelming, especially the finale, which left the planet's alien facilities unexplained, relying entirely on cliffhangers, likely as a setup for Season 2. Alright, that's all for today's recap. Let's call it a wrap. See you next time.